Hey everybody, what we have over here is a JVC radio from either the 1980s or 1990s. So how did I come about this? Well, it's pretty interesting. Some months ago actually, I believe either in July or August, my brother and I had gone to a house that was selling some stuff because they were planning to move somewhere else. And, we were kind of like, walking along, seeing what they got here and there. And at some point we went into their garage. And my brother was checking out some stuff, and I just happened to see this radio here on the on one of their counters in the garage, if you want to call it that. And I just happened to look, and I asked them. I was like, "Oh wow, hey, by any chance, are you guys selling this radio here?" And they said yes. I was like, "How much you looking for?" And they said, "Well, we were kind of hoping for like $25." So I asked them. I was like, "I just got 20s on me. Will you guys accept the 20?" And they were like, "Deal." So perfect. Got a vintage radio here for $20. I've always wanted a vintage radio like this just because, well, for one thing, they're really cool. And also you may notice that this particular radio doesn't have a CD player. It's probably before they came with those. And what I like about that is just the fact that, without the CD player, the radios are a lot more, thin, I guess. And easier to put on counter space and things like that. So let's go ahead and have a look over the radio and see what it has to offer. Now, just first and foremost, there are going to be some terms on this radio that I'm not going to be too familiar with because I'm assuming this radio was manufactured either before I was born or if it was after I was born, I was probably still an infant at that time, so I'm not going to know too many of the terms on here, so just bear with me if I say some things incorrectly. And, you can also always just let me know in the comments what each one is and give me some more information. I'd really appreciate that. So here's the front here. You have here's your cassette tape player. You have two round speakers, two internal microphones, which is very interesting. Your nice analog display here for the radio portion. I'll go ahead and turn the dial here, and you can see the thing move left and right, which is pretty cool. Here's some interesting options on here. Here's volume, of course. That's interesting. That's interesting. I'm sorry. That's usual. Interesting thing here. You have a balance for left and right speakers. Don't think I've ever seen that on a radio before. Here's your tone. And here's this mode, out of position, sorry, mode. Stereo is normal. You have stereo, monaural, and speaker reverse. I don't quite know what that would do, but I'm sure someone out there knows, but that's pretty interesting. Here's your main selector / power switch. Tape, also radio off, radio, and line in. Line in I'll show in a little bit. This is just what it is. And here's your FM, SW2, SW1, and MW. Now, these are the terms that I'm not too familiar about, but if you look on the front here with the display, you can kind of see that FM is your usual FM, but SW2 and SW1 are shortwave band. Now, I don't quite know what that does, but again, if someone wants to chime in, please feel free. And here's the thing, MW is medium wave band, which is, you can see, is the kilohertz scale. I'm going to assume that's the same as AM radio, like your news stations or something. Again, someone can let me know, but that's pretty cool. The FM stereo light, I'm assuming, is when you have good stereo reception and stays lit up. Battery, I'm guessing I'd assume that's either if the radio is on battery power or if the batteries are low. VU, don't quite know what that is. And record, I'm sure lights up when you're recording something on the tape. So that's pretty nice. I will say though, these buttons here for the cassette tape player, oh man, just the mechanical feel these buttons have is just awesome. The video is not going to do it justice at all, but let me see if you can hear just what the play button sounds like when I push it down. Oh, just such a mechanical feeling in that button. It's so nice. And obviously to stop it, you know how it goes. And the stop button also serves as the eject button, just like that. I don't quite know if this door ever had a soft option, a soft open thing, but if it did, then I guess it doesn't work anymore, but if not, no big deal. Inside of the tape player, that's all good. Alright, we'll go ahead and take a look at the side of the radio. Oh, actually, before we do that, hang on a second. Let me show you the antenna, actually. This antenna goes pretty tall, as you can see. Let me go ahead and lift it up. Bear with me here. Let's see here. Yeah, that's about it. So if I stand back here from the radio, Yeah, that antenna does go pretty high for it. That's pretty cool. What I'm actually happy to see is that the antenna is not bent. You know, like a lot of these older radios, you see that the antenna is bent, probably just from use over the years or something, but it's actually pretty good. All right, so we'll put that back down, and hopefully I'm not going too out of place for you guys. I'm trying to keep this as organized as possible. There we go. Okay, now we'll look at the back side, the right of the side of it. Keep misplacing my words here. So here's where you could connect an external microphone. There's channels left and right, I think. Yeah, yep, LR, left and right. Now here's the line in, C, L, and R. So I'm almost wondering, like, if you put that power selector to line in, could you, like, connect an external CD player and put it on there? Because maybe that was an option before radios had the CD players built into them later on. So, you know, that was pretty interesting there. And here's your headphone jack. It's the larger headphone jack, which is interesting. I'm sorry, I don't know the sizes. Someone can tell me about that too if they'd like. And you have external speaker options there. Now, what's interesting here is you actually have a direct current 9-volt adapter. I don't quite know if that's... Could you have rechargeable batteries? Is that another option to use? I don't quite know. Center negative, which is interesting. And, yeah. So that's interesting. Oh, yeah, one thing I meant to say here is, if anyone out there knows what the... I'll show it to you in a bit, but if anyone knows what the date of manufacture is for this radio, I'd love to know. I've tried looking up the serial number and the model number, but I haven't been having much luck. With that said, let me go ahead and show you the back of it now. The usual stuff on the back there. So just ignore those beeps, guys. My folks just set the alarm, so that's why you heard that. And as of date of manufacture, of course, nothing is there. But yeah, there's the model number and the serial number. Okay, you probably can't read it, but you probably can't see it. But I'm going to read it out to you. It's 175-31156. Okay, that's the serial number. So if anyone wants to know if they can find out what the year is on this radio, I'd love to know. Made in Japan. There's the it's preset to 120 volts, but interesting enough, you can actually use 240, 220, and 50-60 hertz, 12 volts. Wow, 12 watts. Actually, let me show you the where is it? Yeah, it's over here on the other side of the radio. Here's your tuner knob. Here's a fine tuning thing. That's an interesting thing to see. And here's the voltage selector. Right there. And there's where the 120 volt thing goes into. So, interesting how that all comes to be. So, I will try to show you some operations of this radio. The only problem is, as you know, I'm not going to play any music because I don't want to have any copyright problems. So, what I can do, though, when we get to that point is, what I'll do is I'll play back the message tape that I actually have in this answering machine. You remember that? Jay and I had actually recorded some funny stuff on there. So what I can do is, let me go ahead and plug this in and just show you, basically what it does when it's all powered up. Just one more thing, guys, before I turn the radio on. We do have the battery compartment here, if you want to check that out. I think it took D batteries, I believe, but I can tell you one thing, though. You see this foam? Yeah, this foam is not flexible at all anymore. It's completely disintegrating as I touch it. So you can tell this radio is definitely quite a number of years old. So just thought I'd show that to you for those of you who wanted to see it. All right, now let's go ahead to some operation. Okay, so I got it plugged in, and I guess one thing we'll do first is let me just go ahead and hit play on the tape player so you can see exactly what it does when it's more or less turned on. Yeah, still making some crackling there, as you can see. But interestingly enough, the battery light comes on when it's running at all. I guess that's just to show, maybe it's just to show power or something, I guess. Now, another interesting thing about the tape player is most often, or more of the time, I should say, when radios are of this age, the belts on the tape player wear out. But what I'll go ahead and do is I'll hit play again. And if you look at that reel, that thing's actually spinning pretty well. I'm very amazed that's actually still working, because usually by this point in time, after this many years, the belts and the tape player just wear out completely and just stop operating, really. And you can see down there, there's the things. What I'll do is here, let me stop it. They pop up. And just look at the mechanical operation of this thing. As I push the button up and down, you can see them move up and down, which is awesome. So I'll hit play again. And yeah, honestly, it's running pretty well. Now, there is the auto stop thing for the tape right there, which I'll push up and you'll see. See, it still works beautifully, so that's awesome. And let's see here. Now, as you probably heard, I think these knobs could be a little bit dirty. Maybe they need to be a little bit, their connections adjusted a little bit, because if I'll play the tape player again, and then when I move the volume knob, yeah, hear all that noise it's making as I'm turning the knob? You know, probably just the connections might just need a little bit of cleaning or something, or things like that. But both speakers do work. Off camera, I did test the radio portion, and the radio works perfectly. I gotta say, the sound quality of these speakers when it comes to music, beautiful. I mean, it sounds great. It really does. Let's see here. And yeah, so again, the speaker reverse did do its thing. Again, I don't know where that would be handy, but you know, we can try doing that when we use the tape from the answering machine. So, oh, just to show you also, I'll open the tape player again, and I'll show you rewind and reverse. My gosh, wow, my vocabulary is something else today, huh? I'll do rewind and fast forward. I'll put the volume back down. And that's working fine. And now go to fast forward. Whoop. Sorry guys, I do apologize for that noise. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It makes a little bit of noise, but it does run, as you can see. So, that's pretty cool. Alright, so, oh, and also there's actually the record light here. I think the button for the recording is right there. You gotta like keep that depressed and then push it down. I'm probably gonna need two hands to do that, so let me see here if I can kind of fidget my way. No, it's not going to work, so give me a second here, guys. I'm just going to hold the camera. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so I have the record button pressed down. And notice on this radio, it doesn't put the play button down at the same time. I know some of the, I guess, more modern radios, they put both buttons down at the same time, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, as you can see, when it's on record, the record light does indeed come on, so that's pretty cool. And we'll just go ahead and stop that. Alright, so now what we'll do is, let's go ahead and get the tape from the answering machine, put it in, and we won't play it back just yet. We'll try, you know, rewind and fast forward, and see how that goes for this. Alright, let's go ahead and take out the, we'll take out the incoming message cassette, and we'll plop it in. I guess some things to test with this first will be, let's try fast forward, rewind, and see how the auto stop does. So let's go ahead and, hopefully you can see that. We'll go ahead and hit fast forward. Yeah, it's definitely running. Okay, and we'll rewind. Okay. Oh, not auto stopping there. Not too bad. Okay. Like I said, you know, it certainly could be you know, worn out from over the years, and the speed did kind of seem to go up and down with rewind, probably because the tape puts it under a little bit of load. But all right, so let's see how the play function does. All right, so let's go ahead and hit play, and let's see how it sounds. The tape counter does work, as you can see. Oh goodness, very, very muffled. Oh, look at this, that goes with the volume, that's cool. Alright, so it does work more or less, but I noticed that the sound is very muffled. I don't know if that's because it's an answering machine tape, or if because maybe the playback head might be a little bit dirty. I haven't done anything with that yet, so that might be why it's not very clear audio. But I'll play again. But I will say I don't hear any fluctuations in the pitch in the audio, so I think the tape is playing at a constant speed, so that's good. Yeah, so I think that might be a little something I have to look into. But you know, just I hope you guys will take my word for it. I don't want to play it because of music. I'm sorry, but you know, I did play the stereo portion before, and that sounds like beautiful. But of course, the only problem is if I told you before. There's the answering machine voice. You see, when I move this around, see, so again, it does work, but just you can hear it's very muffled. So I think it could just be that maybe the playback head needs to be cleaned a little bit. If anyone knows about why that would be, I'd certainly love to know. So, but you can see it does certainly run. I am just a little bummed though that the auto stop didn't work. I thought it would work. Let me rewind again, see what happens. No, it just stops. All right, well, I mean, for the most part, it does okay. I mean, I'll be completely honest with you. For the most part, I'm not going to be using this radio with the tape player. It's going to be the radio function. So, in all things considered, it's really not in that bad of condition for its age, you know? Volume knob, I think, needs to be looked at a little bit. Maybe these other knobs, too. Could be a little dirty. Maybe the wires need a little bit of fixing or something. What I could do, though, is maybe it's like a last thing here. And you see the tape counter went back to 0. Let me play this back again, even though the audio is really muffled, and see if the speaker reverse thing does its job. Very curious to see about that. Not much happening there. Put it to reverse. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, it's working. See, it's coming out of the left speaker. No, it's not working. Okay, I guess it's not working quite as I had hoped. But, yeah, so it's doing its thing. You know, again, I don't know when I'd ever use speaker reverse, but anyway, let's go ahead and rewind the tape, and you can look at the tape counter if you'd like. So, that's pretty good. Yeah, so you guys can see this is a lot of first-time experimentation I've done with this radio, but anyway, guys, long story short, I'm happy with this radio, okay? I mean, it's nice to have a vintage radio. The stereo portion does work beautifully. The tape player is a little muffled, as you can see. Again, I don't know how often I'm going to use that, but maybe I could look into cleaning the playback head and see if it helps the audio at all. But anyway, yeah, if anyone can find out what year or what date of manufacture this radio is, I would love to know. If you can find it out for me, that'd be great. I'll adjust the title accordingly, and I'll even give you a little thing in the video description if you'd like. Anyway, guys, there you go. There's my JVC radio. Really cool to have. For the most part, you know, it does work. It does do what it's supposed to, just with some little glitches here and there, but I'm very happy with it, if I'm honest, you know? So, happy to have a vintage radio, and it gets a good reception down here in the basement, which is pretty surprising. And hopefully, in the future, we'll see if I make any changes to it, but good to have, good sound quality, definitely, and like to have some vintage quality like this. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.